Okay, none of you are ready for this one. My goal with this video is to make enemies. I want to make people angry. Curious, yes, very intriguing, very seriously mystifying. Oh, hello there, my viewer, I didn't see you. I was just pondering a very large, age-old question. Why, okay, well, I guess Editing Dallin was also pondering this question. Why is it that people go to the Disney parks? Is it for the immersion, for the experience? No, it's to ride Living with the Land. But if your Disney park doesn't have Living with the Land, there are probably other reasons why you visit the Disney parks, like the food, or even the audio animatronics, which is what we're going to be talking about today. We are going to make an audio animatronic tier list. Now, I've spoken before about things I don't like, about certain animatronics, some of the worst Disney animatronics, malfunctions, things like that. But this video, we're going to talk about the best at the S tier up there, right there, there's the S tier, and the worst down at the F tier. Yes, this is meant to be the definitive list proven by science, just like all of my other tier lists. It's not my opinion. This is factually correct. Now, where do we start when we're talking about the Disney parks and animatronics? Do you start like in New Orleans Square with the Haunted Mansion and Pirates, or do you start maybe at Animal Kingdom with the Disco Yeti? Why not start where it all began, right there on Main Street, USA, with great moments with Mr. Lincoln? Now, take a look at this guy. He's kind of handsome, right? He looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the original Abraham Lincoln animatronic. You ever seen a naked Lincoln before? Well, you have now. Come over here. Let me show you this. Okay, I don't know why we moved over here, but we did. We're over here now, so let's just talk about this. This is the original Abraham Lincoln animatronic from the 1964 World's Fair, currently on display at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Orlando, Florida. Yes, he's naked, but dang it if he wasn't an impressive piece of technology back in his day, okay? He spearheaded the entirety of the advanced audio animatronic movement. Pirates, Haunted Mansion, none of it exists without this naked Lincoln here. So he obviously has to go in the S tier for being the precursor to your favorite animatronics, like the Auctioneer. Everybody comes from this guy right here. Meanwhile, current day Abraham Lincoln animatronic, yes, he's impressive. He's very impressive, but he's not the spearheader of the audio animatronic industry, so he gets to go in the A tier, right below his little brother. Older brother. He's smaller, but he's older. Now, the kinds of audio animatronics that really interest me are the ones that you can sit in front of and stare at for a very long time, in your own time, and the best example of that is Doc Ondar at Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Look at this guy, he's beautiful. And if it's not too busy, you can just sort of hang around the gift shop, admire the scenery, admire the animatronic. There are not a lot of places you can do that. There are a couple that we'll talk about, but this is the first one that sprang into my mind immediately. And Doc just seems like a really cool guy to be around, even if he is a bit stressed every now and then, and being a cool guy immediately puts you on the cool list, which is the A tier. Doc Ondar is A tier. Here we go, an attraction that's packed to the gills with audio animatronics, although it is going away soon. We won't have it for much longer. Splash Mountain, it's absolutely full of audio animatronics, especially at Disneyland where they are recycled from America Sings, which was in Tomorrowland for some reason. Anyways, it's full of them, and they're all okay. I mean, they're fine. They're not like super fluid or super high tech or anything. They get the job done. You know, they're characters, they're there, they do one or two motions and call it a day. They're not particularly impressive. They do add to the atmosphere of the ride, and they sing a fun little song. It's what you get when you go to Chuck E. Cheese and you watch the Chuck E. Cheese show, you know, when they're up there on the stage doing their Five Nights at Freddy's thing. The Splash Mountain animatronics get the job done. They can be a little creepy, but they're just audio animatronics in the very base sense of the word. And so what better place to put them than in the C tier? They're not bad. They're not great. They're just audio animatronics. They get the job done. How many times have I said that? Moving on. Jeez. Earlier I mentioned my love for the Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean because they wouldn't be possible without great moments with Mr. Lincoln at the New York World's Fair. The animatronics you find in these two attractions are breathtaking, especially the Auctioneer and the Hatbox Ghost. Those are the two main standouts for me. Unfortunately, there are also a couple of animatronics that just completely ruin my ride. Every time I see them I go, oh, that's unfortunate. One of them being Constance Hatchaway, which is, like I said, very unfortunate. She's a projection animatronic, which already off to a bad start, and she was installed in 2006, which means the projection technology isn't super advanced like it is in other attractions like, you know, Frozen Ever After. That doesn't mean I like the Frozen Ever After animatronics. We'll get to that in a second, but the Constance is worse. And after seeing the physical figure at D23, see, I met her, she looks really, really good. Constance just sort of looks like a mannequin with a projection on it. She needs some help, she needs some TLC. Update Constance Hatchaway because I love the character, the voice acting, the story in the attic. It's all amazing. The figure itself is bad. Wait, is she a figure or an animatronic? It doesn't matter. This is my list. She's going in the D tier. The only saving grace she has is that she's in the attic scene, which is amazing. And the attic is in the Haunted Mansion, which is even better. Dinosaur is an interesting ride, right? I don't have any props representing the ride dinosaur. I don't have like a stuffed dinosaur or like a dinosaur souvenir, so just pretend this is like a Carnotaurus or something. See, it kind of looks like it. A little bit. It's got that classic 90s, 80s, 90s charm, and all of the animatronics are, for the most part, really, really good. The original Carnotaurus, or the original, I should say the one that charges at you is really well done. The one that takes your picture, the photographer. There is, however, one very bad animatronic. It's at the very end. Now, for those of you who don't know, Dinosaur is sort of a mirror image of Indiana Jones. Same ride vehicle, similar track, similar story beats, you just go different speeds throughout it, as you would in Indiana Jones. And in the finale of Indiana Jones Adventure, you get, you know, sort of chased down by a giant boulder before going underneath it and getting out of the way as soon as it crashes into the ground. With Dinosaur in that very same room, there is sort of like a Carnotaurus head stapled to the wall, and it just sort of like makes a loud noise and you go under it. It's not very good. The Carnotaurus head at the end of the attraction is an F-tier audio animatronic. Horribly done, very, very bad. But the standing up photographer Carnotaurus, now that guy's not too bad. Very lifelike, very big, very scary. He's gonna go in the B tier. Congrats, Disney. You've simultaneously made the best and worst dark ride at all of Animal Kingdom. Don't talk bad about Navi River Journey. I actually like that ride. Another day, another tier list. What I wouldn't give to be in a Disney park right now, sucking down a mint julep and gnawing on a Bengal barbecue beef stick. Maybe if I look at my shelf, I'll get some inspiration. No, he's a figure. Oh, they're too scary. That's it! Tiki! I'm gonna go on record and say that Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room is the best attraction show in all of the Disney parks. Magic Kingdom, you know, it has it. It's not as good as Disneyland's, but it's still really good. Disneyland's, though, is the full show, the full experience, and it's Walt Disney's original Tiki Room. These guys were the forerunners to the animatronics you found in Pirates in the Mansion, and even Mr. Lincoln. Lincoln came from the birds, if that makes any sense. And if the President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, gets S tier for being the first fluid human audio animatronic, then it is only fair to give his precursors, his forerunners, the little tiki birds who love to sing songs in the Tiki Room. It's only fair to give them S tier as well, especially you, Jose. You're my favorite. But if we're talking about the Tiki Room, it's not just the birds in the room that sing. The flowers and the tikis also play their tunes. The flowers, not as impressive as the birds. You can hear them clicking and clacking, although they are beautiful, so they're gonna go in the A tier. And the tikis, oh, don't get me started on the tikis. I love a good Tiki Room tiki. They're gonna go in the S tier up there with the birds. Old Rolly really outdid himself with this one. The Tiki Room is just goated. It's so good. Did I just say that? Tiki Room is really, really good. If it's been a while since you've seen it or you haven't checked it out yet, what are you waiting for? Go to Walt Disney World or Disneyland right now, preferably Disneyland, and just watch and experience and become one with the Tiki. Okay, well, I'm out of ideas. What do you say for the next one? We let the wheel decide. Go ahead and spin the wheel. Thank you, Pointer. Goodbye. Wow, that is moving very fast. Very, very quickly. Wow. Okay, let's see what we get. And it's gonna be California Adventure. What's in California Adventure? Mike and Sully to the rescue. That's in California Adventure. It's where Superstar Limo used to be, and the animatronics are about on the same page as Superstar Limo. I'd say the Mike and Sully to the rescue animatronics are like Splash Mountain tier, where they're not like bad noticeably, but they're far from being good. So I guess if they're not bad, they're not good. The best place to put them would be in the C tier. But you know what's even worse? You know what's even worse than the Monsters, Inc. animatronics? The Little Mermaid animatronics. Oh, at least the Little Mermaid animatronic. This Ariel animatronic gets me every single time. Why does she look like a corpse? Little Mermaid Ariel animatronic, get down there. Stay. Don't move. Bad. Never move again. Go away. Little Mermaid Scuttle animatronic? slightly better. Actually, a lot better. You can go in the C tier with Sully. Okay, so maybe the wheel wasn't a good idea. I understand that. Maybe I just decided maybe I gotta get out of the house. Maybe I just don't want to see any more of these aerial animatronics' lifeless eyes staring into my soul. Maybe I need to connect with nature. And then I realized, oh, it's sub-freezing temperatures out. So I guess while we're in the forest, why not talk about what lives in the forest? Animal audio animatronics. And what lives in the forest? That's right, gorillas. The Jungle Cruise gorilla animatronic. Now this thing is fun. Some of them have guns. Some of them one of them is just reaching for bananas. Animal animatronics, they're not really hard to get wrong. Splash Mountain does them okay. Jungle Cruise, they're a bit more realistic but still cartoony. Put them in the B tier. They're fine. They're okay. Let's go over here. What about a goat or the goat on Big Thunder Mountain that you look at in order to make yourself dizzier and dizzier, so that way you can make the ride feel faster than it actually is? The goat, I think, is an A tier because not only is it a fun animal audio animatronic, but it also increases the velocity and the discombobulation of riding Big Thunder Mountain, which is a plus. A tier for the goat. And last but not least, we'll talk about the piranhas because we're over here in the open water. I mean, piranhas from the Jungle Cruise, water-borne predators. These things can jump out anywhere at any time. They are loud and they are scary, okay? So, F tier. F tier for the Jungle Cruise piranhas. I hate whenever they jump out. They scare me. And then I end up looking like a fool in front of the rest of the Jungle Cruise boat. Sorry, that got a little heated there. Lost my cool a little bit. I just don't like being surprised on the Jungle Cruise. Just like to chant O2H and get out of there. But then I realize now that I'm freezing. It is very cold outside. Maybe the wheel was an okay idea. Maybe I should get out of the woods. I don't know what's down here. Perhaps a Bigfoot, a Sasquatch, a skunk ape, or maybe even a Yeti? That's it. That's the perfect segue to the Disco Yeti. Ugh, I am never going outside ever again. Let me just tell you right now, it is cold, it is dirty, and it is scary. Highly overrated. If you ever have the urge to go outside, reconsider. All right, let's talk about the Disco Yeti now. Expedition Everest. One of the best roller coasters at Disney's Animal Kingdom. I gotta admit, it's very, very good. It's almost, I like it more than Cosmic Rewind, okay? I'm gonna say that. I like the theming, okay? Nepal, Yetis, Joe Rohde, and it goes backwards. God. Now let's bring it down here for a second. Can we bring down the lights here? Let's get introspective. The Expedition Everest Yeti was one of the most advanced audio animatronics Disney had ever built up until that point. It was so impressive, it needed its own structure inside of the mountain. Also, it was huge. Okay, I say it was huge. It still is huge, but the problem is it was so huge it was damaging the structure that it was built on because of all of its movement, so Disney had to stabilize, they had to freeze, they had to immobilize the Yeti, and now he is in B mode forever. Either way, it was a blink and you'll miss it animatronic, but it was so cool when he could reach out and it would feel like he was just about to grab you, and now, as many Disney fans say, he dances the disco. They put a strobe light on him to sort of give it the illusion of movement. Doesn't really work. And so I'm hard pressed to find a category that the Disco Yeti would fit in. If it's the original Yeti, then yeah, put it in the S tier or the A tier. But with the Disco Yeti, maybe C or D. It's still an impressive figure, but it doesn't really move. So Disco Yeti, D tier, okay? And original Expedition Everest A mode Yeti, put it in S tier. Screw it, put it in S tier. I'm feeling generous today. Yeti's never gonna get fixed, but we can all still hope. I mean, it's fruitless. Joe Rohde is gone. He said he was gonna fix the Yeti, and now he doesn't work for Disney anymore, so the dream is dead. I've lost too much. Staying at Animal Kingdom, I'm going to go to my most favorite, underappreciated, underrated attraction at the entire park. No, it's not Maharaja Jungle Trek, although that is pretty close to the top. No, it's Navi River Journey. Everyone's getting in line for Flight of Passage at 8 a.m. They're lining up, they're getting their fast passes, not me, or their Genie Pluses. I've lost too much. Me, I'm hopping in line for Navi River Journey. I love a good boat ride, and there is nothing like a boat ride through Pandora at night. But Got a problem. The ride only features one audio animatronic. I feel like if it featured at least one or two more, then we'd be off to the races. Everyone would love Navi River Journey. Unfortunately, it's just the one, and it's at the very end, but the one that they do have is very impressive. The most advanced and lifelike audio animatronic Disney has ever made for an attraction anywhere in the world. Used on a 2.5-minute boat ride that is only found at one park in the entire world. It could only be the Navi Shaman of Songs. Now you think the most expensive animatronic Disney has ever built would be an easy S tier? You would be wrong, because the attraction surrounding the animatronic is probably about C tier, maybe B tier, and the animatronic itself is S tier. So that's why you get an A tier Navi Shaman of Songs. Listen, Disney, here's what you gotta do. All you gotta do is extend the track a little bit, give it a drop, put a couple more animatronics in there, and then you'll have your S tier animatronic and your S tier boat ride. All right, you're so close. You are so close to perfection. Or just go ahead and give Flight of Passage a new mission. I get it. It's the more popular attraction. I've lost too much. The Country Bears from the Country Bear Jamboree. I feel like this one is where we're going to start getting a little bit divisive. I love the Country Bear Jamboree. The problem with it is, remember how I said Splash Mountain animatronics are like watching like Chuck E. Cheese animatronics? Well, this is a Chuck E. Cheese show. It's a musical animatronic show, and all the characters are bears, which, granted, yes, is very cool. You can tell they're animatronics, all right? I'm looking at these, I'm seeing audio animatronics. I'm not seeing bears singing. I mean, I love it. I love Melvin the Moose, but I don't know. There's just something about this that's keeping me from putting it in like the S or the A or maybe even the B tier. Do I put it alongside Splash Mountain in the C tier? I think I might have to. At least with Splash Mountain, you get to be on a boat ride, you go down drops, you get to ride past them, and you can smell the water. With the Country Bear Jamboree, you're stuck in the room, listening to them click and clack. Again, this isn't me saying I don't like the Country Bear Jamboree. It's just got this certain kind of old school animatronic show charm. So that's why the Country Bears are going in the C tier. C tier for, come on, I mean, it's okay. Okay, I think I've put this off as long as I could. I've put off talking about this ride, minus one little tiny sort of entry. I feel like we need to mention it though at one point in this video. So why not start right now with hold on. Pay no attention to the green screen. That's for my use. Yeah, I think it's time. All right, the Haunted Mansion. What can I say, me, as an offhand Disney that hasn't already been said about the Haunted Mansion, that I haven't already said about the Haunted Mansion? I have hours of material on the thing. So let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. Hatbox Ghost, S tier. I shouldn't have to explain myself. But for you, I will. They put him in the mansion on opening day in 1969. He did not work, so they took him out, and then he was a legend for the better part of almost 5 decades, nearly 50 years of the Haunted Mansion, before they added him back in, and he is beautiful. Okay, 46 years of the Haunted Mansion, but who's counting? I'm not. He's so cool that Disney begrudgingly allowed him to visit the Florida mansion. He's going to take up, I guess, permanent residence there, as well as in Anaheim. He'll be in 2 places at once. Don't worry, he's a ghost. He could do that. S tier. The Hatbox Ghost is S tier. I will not elaborate. Okay, now who else? Who else in the Haunted Mansion bears mentioning? Who else bears talking about? Grandma, of course, Grandma over here in the rocking chair. She is the one I most identify with in the Haunted Mansion, because while everyone's over here doing their dancing and getting drunk, passing out underneath the table, blowing out their birthday candles, having a big, loud party, Grandma is over here in her rocking chair, taking it easy, taking a load off, and enjoying the music. That's what I would do. So Grandma also is going to be S tier, because she belongs there as well. Okay, all right. Now, I know we've all been waiting for this moment, okay? I've been putting it off for as long as I can, but we'll talk about him. This guy, right over here. Again, I'm going to move you. My apologies. This guy, the mummy from the Haunted Mansion, who's been mysteriously absent from Disneyland for some reason. He's at Disney World, though, and he is my favorite character in the entire mansion. It's not even close. Like, it is not close. The mummy goes in S tier. You know it goes in S tier. I know it goes in S tier. Let's just go ahead and skip the middleman and put him right in S tier. He belongs there with all of his other friends from the Haunted Mansion, except for Constance, like I said, unfortunately. You know, normally at this point in other videos that I've made, I would be doing a lightning round. and this video is no different. We're going to list off a bunch of audio animatronics very quickly to fill out the list. Let's start with Pirates of the Caribbean. Red, S tier. The Auctioneer, also S tier. Donald's butt from Mickey's PhilharMagic. Remember at the end of the show, Donald's butt sticks out of the wall? He is also going to go in the S tier, because look how iconic that is. All projection-faced audio animatronics go down to the F tier. You belong there. You're never going to move up. Get used to it. You're bad. I hate you so much. Why do you look like that? Stop looking like that. C-3PO on Star Tours, you're cool, C tier. DJ Rex at Oga's Cantina, you're cooler, A tier. Oogie Boogie. Did you know that this Oogie Boogie animatronic in Haunted Mansion Holiday is actually a recycled Big Al animatronic from the Country Bear Jamboree? So does he go in C tier, or does he go in B tier because he's in the Haunted Mansion? B tier. Oogie Boogie is B tier. Rise of the Resistance Stormtroopers. Okay, this is an interesting one. They're not super fluid, they're not hyper realistic, but there are a lot of them, and they all do little twitches, they all do little movements, which makes it more realistic that they're standing, at attention. All right, Rise of the Resistance Stormtroopers, you can go to the B tier. Your boss, though, he gets to go to the A tier. He's great, he's lovely, we love him. When he's not in B mode, of course. The witch from Snow White and Her Adventures? Oh, I don't like this animatronic. This is scary. F tier. F tier for being so good that you're scary. R5 from Rise of the Resistance. This guy gets to go in the B tier. Yeah, he doesn't move a lot, but he talks, and he's part of your ride vehicle. What other attraction has an animatronic that is part of the ride vehicle? I love you, R5. Okay, but down to business now. If you're not a true Disney fan, if you're not a real Disney Parks fan, go ahead and click off this video now. You've only made it 21.5 minutes in. It's about time to throw in the towel if you're not a true fan. Go out, I'll give you a second. Okay, are they gone? All right, Figment. What do you say we bring this one home with one of my favorite characters in all of the Disney parks? Not the Figment that's on the phone during the Train of Thought sequence. He's pretty good. His hand's a little jerky though. I'm talking about the Figment standing up right before you go into Figment's house. This guy right here. Bonus points if he's wearing his ugly Christmas sweater. Even better. Figment is the core mascot. He's the character that's not just Epcot, but he envelops all of Walt Disney World for me. Figment is Walt Disney World. He's mostly Epcot though, and Epcot is the second best park. Cause like the Haunted Mansion, the ghosts, they're really well done. They add to the immersion. They look cool. The mummy is drinking tea, but Figment does everything. He's amazing, and the best part is there's the potential that he could get even better with an update to this attraction, which is why I'm putting Figment in his very own tier, not A tier, not S tier, but above S tier, we have the Figment tier, and Figment belongs right up there. Where else but up there in the Figment tier, along with his ugly sweater counterpart. That is my full and complete audio animatronic tier list. Take a look, take a look. Do you agree? Do you disagree? But it doesn't matter if you disagree, because all of the scientists that I hired and paid specifically to make sure to tell me that this was 100% scientifically accurate, they all agree that this is it. This is the one. But yes, I do realize I'm leaving out so many other audio animatronics, like the Hitchhiking Ghosts. Who could forget them? They're 3 separate animatronics. I don't have the room for that. They're all S tier. S tier is full. Donald's butt took it over. So now let me ask you, what are your S tier and F tier animatronics? You all know my S tier is like the Haunted Mansion, right? It's mostly the Haunted Mansion. My F tier, I'm hoping, surprised a little bit of you, some of you. You all know my disdain for projection faces. But what are your personal favorites, and what do you think I got wrong on my list? I would love to see you try to disagree with these scientists. Look, he's looking at a microscope. You can't argue with that. And before you have the chance to argue with me, I'm gonna go to the end card. Ha! Hello everybody, thank you so much for watching this video of me ranking audio animatronics on the scale of S tier to F tier. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button if you're new around here and want more videos of me ranking different Disney Parks things on the tier list scale. And leave a like if you enjoyed this video. A like goes a lot farther than you would think, believe me. Believe me. Be sure to follow me on all of my other social medias. I am at Offhand Disney on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Please be sure to head over to one or all 3 of those sites and give me a follow, because if not, I'm gonna move Figment down to the S tier. I'm not afraid to do it. A massive thank you to all of my supporters over on patreon.com. They help keep the channel alive. They help me do what I'm doing right now, bringing you all these videos, because especially ones like these, they take a long time to edit. My Patreon supporters help keep this possible. And if you want to join their ranks and get early access to videos like they got earlier this week, head over to the link in the description down below, and even just $1 a month will get you access to most of the perks. And that about wraps up this video. Big news week for Disney here. I mean, I covered Tron and a couple of the shows returning, but there was even more stuff with like the corporate side that I don't really care about, but also like the retheming of the French market into the Tiana's Palace restaurant, and then the new park that Universal announced, and then of course Disney had to one-up them, and so they closed down Blizzard Beach because the temperatures were cold. Super cool news week. That is, however, where I'm going to end this video. Everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video the week before Runaway Railway's opening at Disneyland. I will be there in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today, actually, as I'm recording this. You'll see this a little bit ahead of time, but I will be there, and I'm hoping to see some of you there as well. Thank you again, and goodbye.